Alright, what I'm going to do now is the number boards, which, as you can see, these are still the original number boards from Athearn on there, and the Locomotive number has been changed. So I'm going to do the number boards, and this is pretty much the last step I do. Now what I do is I print them off on a sheet on a computer. So just like this. I usually do 6 to 8 of the same number in case I make mistakes, which does happen, and they fold over or crinkle or something and I ruin them, so anyways, I make extras. The reason there's so many on here is because I have other locomotives I'm changing the numbers on, so I try to do as many on one sheet as I can, not to waste the paper. But anyways, so what I'll do is I'll cut these off and then I'll put them on, and I'll show you how I do that in a minute. So what I've done now is I've taken one of them and trimmed it off, and trimmed it to the approximate size of where the number board goes. And then what I will do is I will put on that area some of this. This is a clear glue and window maker, so it virtually disappears and it holds pretty good. Unfortunately, I can't do this and film at the same time, so I'll have to explain it and then do it and show you the result. But anyways, the reason I do it this way is because I have big fingers, and messing with those little tiny numbers, trying to get them to all line up and stay put, I just don't have the patience for it. And so I've devised doing it this way, which cuts my time down drastically, and it comes out good enough where I think it looks really nice, and so that's the way I do it. Alright, so I'm going to put this one on and then I'll show you how it came out. Okay, one side is done. I don't know how this shows up. But anyways, there's mine and the original. So what I'll do when they're all done is then I go back and I clear coat over them. Usually let it sit a day because I don't want to wrinkle the paper too much. I use a lacquer, and then I trim around it with some paint just to make it look good and look like it belongs, and it's done. So again, this doesn't mean that this is the way you've got to do these locomotives, but this is how I do them from start to finish. And people were asking, so there you go. Now on the computer you'll have to figure out what size matches the one on the Locomotive. I mean, I've done it trial and error, and then I got it so it looks pretty good, so then I just keep it that way, because pretty much most of the Athearn and all are the same size. The Atlas are a little bit smaller, so you have to alter it for that, but if you do that you can figure it out anyways. Alright, so now I'm going to continue on, do the rest of the number boards on this one, do the other 3 ST40-2s, and that should be done. Okay, the number boards are done. And I've done a final check on them, looked them over, make sure I didn't miss anything. So in my opinion, they're ready for service. So now I'll take them over Mike's and put them in service. And that's it on this. From box to track. Like I said before, this doesn't make me right on any of this stuff. That just means this is how I do it. And for those of you that asked me and emailed me and wanted to know how I do some of these things. I hope this was informative. So now I'll take them over to Mike's and we'll put them on the track, and they'll start earning revenue. Well, here they are on the track over to Mike's. 8129, 8180, 8130, and 7222. Okay, so now they're all finished and they'll begin service tonight. Okay, so that's my little video series of box to track on these 4 Burlington Northern Athearn SD40-2s. And by the way, this last unit here, 7222, is actually number 20 in my fleet of BN SD40-2s. And I have my friend from Canada to thank for that, because I was looking, I had 19 of them and I was looking for a 20th one for like 4 or 5 months. And my friend Danny from Canada emailed me and told me where I could find this 20th one. So thanks, Danny, and keep watching our videos.